It's over. Boruto's time has finally come. His dark fate will come to pass in this next upcoming arc, and we are not ready for what is going to happen next, as Boruto will finally lose everything. I am Dynasty, and in today's video, I'll be revealing exactly how Boruto's dark prophecy will come to pass. If you enjoyed these videos, like and subscribe to join a community of Boruto fans. First of all, let's confront the foreshadowing that has been put in place to warn us about what's to happen next. Boruto won't be coming back home after he goes on this mission. This at least is clear to us. Boruto is a series that originates from Japan, which means that the Asian culture and way of life is heavily influenced in the writing. This is important to note when analyzing the family scene between Boruto and Hinata. Hinata is crying before Boruto leaves, which is very important as it has a lot of meaning. In Asian culture, we see a mother's intuition to be very respected and super important. Whenever a mother has a bad feeling about her own child, it means that something bad is going to happen. We see this a lot. An example is when a mother is washing dishes and then she suddenly drops a plate and it cracks. It means that something bad has happened to her child. We have also seen this sort of foreshadowing with Kawaki's arm falling off while he is holding Naruto's picture. It told us that Naruto was in danger. This is why Hinata crying before Boruto is about to leave is something important to note and shouldn't be taken for granted. So, in chapter 72, Boruto has a conversation with Momoshiki that reveals exactly how Boruto's prophecy will come to pass. Momoshiki tells Boruto that he will lose everything and despair enough to the point where he will lose the will to live. This clearly tells us that someone will die in the next arc of Boruto, as Boruto doesn't really value his life more than he values the life of the people around him. So who exactly will die? Who will be the one to die and cause Boruto's despair? So let's look at the people around Boruto and who exactly he cares for. So starting with Team 7, Kawaki won't die because he will be there in the time skip. I don't think Sarada or Mitsuki will die, as Team 7 will definitely have an important role in the future. So the ones I could really see dying is Sasuke or Shikamaru. But something tells me that this is not enough. This is not enough to make Boruto despair and give up on living. I think that someone even closer to Boruto has to die before Boruto truly despairs. This would either be Hinata or Hima, or even both of them. When Boruto loses both his little sister and even his mother, he will truly despair. The reason why Boruto will give up on living is because he will not have a reason for living. Would you live in a world where all the people you care about are dead? Why try so hard? Why even succeed if you won't be able to share your success with the people around you? You won't even be able to brag your accomplishments with them. People in general don't live for themselves. They usually live for others. Parents live for their children, and so on and so forth. But when you take away a person's reason for living, you leave them with nothing but despair. And that's exactly what will happen to Boruto. He will lose his reason for living, and in turn lose the will to live. So what exactly will Momoshiki do to just take control of Boruto's body permanently? Because in the past, we see that every time Momoshiki tries to take control of Boruto, Boruto always finds a way to gain back control. But this time it will be different. This time Boruto will lose his will to live. Because every time Boruto somehow got back control, it was out of sheer will. But this time, Boruto won't have the will he once had. So, Momoshiki will just push Boruto's consciousness to the corner of his psyche where Boruto will sleep for the rest of his life. This is probably what Ishiki did to Jigen, as he took over and made Jigen lose the will to live, and just pushed him aside and took control of Jigen while pushing him off to sleep for the rest of his eternity. This is what will happen to Boruto. He will remain asleep for the rest of eternity. Even though Momoshiki will not be able to resurrect, he will just take control of Boruto, and in that, he will probably get a new form. You see, Momoshiki took control of Boruto's body in the past, and he would get a horns and a different type of form. However, this time when Momoshiki takes control of Boruto, he will have a completely new form, as Boruto is now an Otsutsuki. As Momoshiki says, that he will take Boruto's body with any means necessary, even if he has to take a new form. This is very important to know, as it hints that Momoshiki will take a new form now that Boruto is a full Otsutsuki. Whether this is good news or not, I don't know. But all I am telling you is we could see Boruto grow 2 horns instead of having 1. We could see him with all white skin, and even have a Rinnegan on his forehead and palms. So how exactly will this all go down? How will this arc conclude? And how does it relate to Boruto's destiny? This is where Riaz Ahmed comes in clutch, as his prediction to how this arc will tie down to Boruto's fate was quite amazing. His prediction is based on both Gaaraga and Kage-sama's foreshadowing. So first, Cole declares a 5th Great Ninja War. This is definitely where Boruto will get his scar, as Kage-sama lost his eye during the state of war. This is where Boruto will lose it all. Boruto ends up getting betrayed by Kawaki, who sees Boruto as nothing as a threat. And we have seen this multiple times with Kawaki killing Boruto. All he really cares about is Naruto. This is the same thing that happened to Gaaraga, who was betrayed too. Sasuke tries to escape with Boruto to a different place. We don't know exactly where they will go, but Sasuke will definitely end up dying. I don't know if he will die because Boruto accidentally kills him when Momoshiki takes control, or somebody else will kill him like Code. We don't know exactly, but what we do know is that Sasuke will die and Boruto will take his sword at least. I don't know if it is Sasuke's cape, but I know he will take the sword for sure. Then Kawaki, Amato, Ida, and Damien try to rebuild a corrupt version of Konoha, where Kawaki governs everything. This is where people like Sadara or Mitsuki will turn on Boruto, either because Kawaki is just lying and telling them the blatant lies, or because Boruto, while Momoshiki was controlling him, killed Sasuke. This is where Boruto's life will turn to hell. Either he will lose hope on fighting and give up on everything for a short period of time, letting Momoshiki do whatever he wants, because I definitely see Momoshiki taking over Boruto's body for a long period of time. But then Boruto will regain hope, either by remembering Sasuke's dying speech or through something else. That something else could potentially be Tonori. But all I know, Boruto will spend the rest of his days alone fighting against the enemies, just like Kage-sama did in the past. This, in my opinion, is a good explanation on how everything could go down, but there is one thing that it is missing, and that is Kawaki's involvement in Boruto's fate. And that's why you have to watch this video right here, as I explain how Kawaki is linked to Boruto's dark prophecy.